Hello, I just make myself bigger, so you see me struggle more with words. Nice. There you go. You can have this wonderful background of a cafe with that thing in the back, you know. This is the first reading art talk stream, talk artists, drawing art stream. I gotta apologize, I'm actually from Germany, so my talking can be very awful, and my reading even more. I'm giving my best to read it. Yeah, I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope I won't struggle too hard. Okay, the first artist story is by SKDAGamer. SK is actually a member of my server that is very, very active and posting a lot, and yeah, I'm kind of excited. I haven't read through it yet, so it's completely blind. Basically, I started drawing when I was 8. I drew primarily Sonic the Hedgehog fan art, as that was what I was really into at the time. It was all done traditionally. Oof, yeah, I remember. I made the move to digital when I was 14, using keyboard and mouse to draw on Photoshop. By now I had gotten into Five Nights at Freddy's and did a ton of fan art of that, and hell, he does a ton of fan art of Five Nights at Freddy's. But I really, really like the way he's drawing the characters. Over the next year, I never saw any progress or improvement, and it was constantly a pain to draw. Self-comparison was a big problem for me. I was following so many artists on DeviantArt at this point, and seeing so many artists post good-looking stuff made me doubt myself. By 15, I quit. Ooh. I picked it up again when I was 16. I got into Spyro and wanted to draw Spyro fan art! Woo! Spyro fan art! I did one artwork and didn't like how it turned out and quit again. No! I picked it up again when I was... okay. I didn't draw again until just before I turned 18 in 2020. I was a Legend of Spyro Discord server that started a monthly fan art event around about the same time I joined. I wanted to participate, have fun, and engage with the community, all of which were great artists. It was the very first time I actually got to talk to artists, and they had a critics channel too. However, I always got ignored and posted over, which was a detrimental to my opinion on my art, and I began to doubt again. Okay. I had one person who constantly talked to me about my art and gave me as much feedback as he could, but after about 3 months it was still just him, and I started to feel like he was doing it cause he had to, which he wasn't, but no one else gave me feedback, so at that time I had no clue. Comparison was also flaring up again, much stronger than before too. I was so close to quitting art a 3rd time, and this time for good. Oh Jesus. Until I joined a couple of more servers and actually got some helpful feedback from kind people. Finally, I saw improvement. I still took my sweet time and doubted myself a lot, but I also received a lot of support from new friends I was making. By this point as well, I was also drawing my own OCs. Characters that were my own, that I felt were closer to me than just game characters that I liked, which also helped me to enjoy it a bit more. I slowly began to enjoy drawing, and I did it more and more. Kept practicing, kept joining servers and meeting new people and artist friends and trying new things. By October 2020, I attempted drawing Five Nights at Freddy's fan art again. And in November, I attempted to step away from just doing dragons and tried proper and through furry artwork and loved it. By December, I was considering opening commissions. I had enough support and eventual confidence in my artwork that I thought I could maybe make some extra pocket money of it. I got my first commission on December 2020 and finished it on December 24. I loved it. Perfect. 2021 hit and I have never drawn so much in my life. It became my escape and my new hobby. I designed so many characters that I love so much. So many new characters. I created stories and original universes, and for a brief moment I created a Five Nights at Freddy's AU, which I later completely converted to an OU too. Alternate universe. Yeah. I got so many commissions and got to draw so many different characters that I loved drawing so much. Some of which I loved so much that I drew them again for a bit of free gift art just because I felt like it. People turned to me for art advice, which I never thought would happen. Oh my god. I'm 19 and still have a long way to go. No one ever stops learning. But I've come a long way in just 1.5 years and I'm super happy of my progress. There's 2 things I learned over this time. The first thing is resilience, to keep trying to improve even when it seems hard and you keep doubting yourself, what is very true. The second thing is support, what is another true thing. That is something that is super hard to get and every artist needs. It can be taxing and tiring to constantly be giving out art and putting effort into it just to get no response or acknowledgement at all. And that's not an ego-fulfilling thing. It's a want to show people what you're making, to hope they take interest in it. Oh, sorry, this is so strong. And to get a little something back after putting so much effort into something. Because of this, I've become so much more vocal and present online when people post artwork. I try to give out as much support as I can, because considering I started out not getting any at all, I know what it's like to not get any. I still struggle to this day with comparison, however, although it's not as much as it used to be. Honestly, I think it's something that I'll always struggle with. But for now, I'm really happy how far I've come, and I'm really happy with the art I've been putting out recently. So this is very strong. He has made a lot of progress. Like, I have one channel in my art server. You can't overpost other people, so you have to leave a comment on their post before posting your own art. It sucks hard when you post something and after that someone else posts something and they out of sudden get recognition and your post is totally going under. This is so hurtful and something that makes you feel like you're not worth it and you're not even there. So SK totally nailed it here when he said, like, you put so much effort in it that nobody responds or acknowledges your art. I'm super glad that you made it, that you found your passion back into art, into creating art, especially because I've noticed the huge progress you made and you're having so much fun with your art, and it's so hurtful that you talked about how you struggled and that you felt like I just quit because nobody cares. It's so strong and so amazing that you got so far and that you keep creating art. Yeah, it makes me a little sad, but I'm also very happy that he's come so far, and yeah. Next story. A One-Trick Dragon is the title of by Paco van Dinther. What a cool name, though. Paco's story starts in 2019 at an art club for teens he, pre-COVID, went to. It's mostly just a place to casually make art while making friends. Oh, that's actually pretty cool, though. Like, you were giving an assignment, but you didn't really have to follow it, and you were never graded or anything. Oh, okay. One week, the assignment is to make something for a contest, hosted by none other than the Ritz Museum. The State Museum. Oh, okay. One of the most well-known museums in Netherlands. Oh my god, just read! Mostly because it houses the most well-known painting here in Netherlands. The Nachtwatch. Nightwatch. Nachtwatch. Oh, Wacht. The contest was held to celebrate 350 years since the painter of the Nachtwatch, Wacht, Nightwatch, Rembrandt van Rijn, died, and the winners have their artwork on display in said museum for 3 months. Naturally, everyone starts making sketches and ideas, and I came up with the idea to draw the Conus Marmaros. It's like, okay, that's what they were meant to make art of. He came up with the idea to draw this Conus Marmaros as a curled up sleeping dragon, since the grooves in the shell will make a perfect scales, and dragons are best. I can show you what he came up with. It's actually super adorable, and that's his artwork for the contest. And it's adorable. Look at this dragon being all curled up with the shape of this harness. This is great. And I start drawing, and after 2 hours I'm still not done, but the clubs ends, so I bring it home to work more on it. Eventually, I spent a lot of time in the drawing, constantly refining the lines to make the area between the scales as dark as possible to create the maximum amount of contrast. Eventually, I finished the drawing and sent it through the website for the contest. And by a stroke of luck, my artwork and one from someone else of the art club got chosen. I couldn't, and to be frank, still can't, believe that my work would be on display in the goddamn Nightwatch Museum, Rijksmuseum thing. So in the museum, his artwork got chosen to hang on the wall in the museum, in this very, very popular museum for 3 months. When I eventually saw the entire composition, it was, honest to God, the best exposition I've ever seen in my life, even if it were the case that my art wasn't on display there. There were just so many creative and talented artists, a total of 575 artworks, who had their art on display there. It was wonderful. So yeah, the whole exposition happens, and after it finished, it announced that there were a whopping total of 150,000 visitors for this exposition. You'd maybe expect the story to continue here with me getting at least one person searching my name and calling me or something, but nah. Basically, only the people I already knew my art was hanging there. Apart from a pin on Pinterest. Also got a pin on Pinterest with his name, and it looks very fancy. From the Rijksmuseum, there was nothing. But to be honest, this didn't and doesn't really bother me. Because for one, I was still in school and not really looking for a job or anything like it yet. And also, heck yeah, I can still say my art was on display in the Rijksmuseum, which may be very useful for applying for art schools or just business in general. Yeah. And even if it isn't, it was still a fucking amazing experience. However, there was one thing that did bother me quite a bit. I was so amazed by the fact that my art was in the Rijksmuseum that I started to worry immensely about never being able to come close to the same level of quality ever again. In fact, I was so worried about that I basically didn't draw for months. Whew. All art I tried to make felt just worse than my old art, which only demotivated me further and further. I felt like I was a one-trick pony, but with a dragon instead. Oh no. Also, looking back upon it, I also realized that the fact that I was dead tired from the pressure of a very stressful school year. Yeah, that is understandable. I mean, 1 second. Like, when you're also visiting art school, you're under pressure all the time, and especially you have to make art under pressure. And I'm a person that can't make art under pressure, just if I really feel like it. And I mostly don't feel like it, so totally understand people who are like in no mood nor shape to create any artwork if they have been through a stressful school year shop or art school, especially there, because you're under pressure to deliver something good. And as he explained, this pressure or of having to deliver something good in art can get so high that you feel like everything else sucks and everything else you created is just garbage. Keep going, shall we? Eventually, with a bit of time and some pressure from school, oh god damn it, I did get past that fear and started creating again. Nice. And now 2 years later, I made an animation that I'm arguably more proud of than this old dragon. Nice. Okay, he also put a link in there. We're definitely going to watch that one. Simply because of the effort and dedication I put into it. Shameless plug, because goddammit, I worked my ass off for an entire month on this project. You can decide which one you personally think it's better, but I believe my animation is better simply because of my dedication and because it's my own idea and project. Nevertheless, I still really appreciate the experience the Conus Draconis brought me. If there's anything I'd like to give as a moral or something to the story, it's that you'll be okay. Even if sometimes things might not be grand at first, you will not be a one-trick pony with your art. You will in fact improve eventually, even if it takes some time. And that even taking a break from art sometimes can be very helpful to improving at art by refreshing your brain. So true. Alright, so he made a animation here. We're definitely going to watch into this one. Alright. That was interesting. I think he did it all traditionally. I have done animations myself a few times though, but definitely not traditionally because that's hell of a work. I think he did a very, very good job on that as well. The animations are very, very smooth. I watched it again. It's actually very nice, very sweet though. If he feels like this one is better than his old how did he call it? Conus Draconis? I think you can't compare traditional drawing with a traditional animation, even though the animation is a lot more work, but he did very well on both works, and I think he should not say this is bad because you're a different artist back then. Like, you've created it and a few months later you're creating another thing and are like, oh, this is so bad. Maybe you just were influenced by different things, or you used a different technique. Oh, oui. A different way to draw stuff. I don't know. So you can't compare your knowledge and your way of creating things when it's like a few months ago and you've improved over the time, and you shouldn't compare that. Hello guys, this was the first session of Ask Schl4fy and talking about artist stories of different artists, being an artist in general. Thank you all for participating and listening, of course. If you got an artist story for me and want your story to be read out loud on the Twitch streams, please send me your stories to my email askschl4fy@gmail.com. Every stream will be announced on my Twitter and my Discord, of course. And I was so appreciated if more of you would watch my streams and join and just share your experiences and maybe retweet and share the streams and links so more people can join and maybe find motivation and inspiration through listening to other artists and their experiences and struggles and whatsoever. Thank you all so much for listening and joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye!